Newton's second law is really easy. It literally just says F net equals mass times acceleration, where F net is all the forces kind of combined. But you need to be careful with F net because it's not just all the forces willy-nilly. Like, you can get into a lot of trouble if you just start adding forces left and right. It'd be like if you're trying to add money in your bank account or pay for like a Starbucks coffee and you start pulling out your cash and then you choose to also pay with a debit card and then you also choose to pay with Canadian money. It's like you're mixing up all these different kind of units that you really don't want to. What you want to do is you want to pay with all American currency, and the equivalent to that in physics is splitting up things into their components and dealing with them separately. So here's what I mean by that. We have F net x is equal to all the forces to the right minus the forces to the left. So all the forces to the right minus the forces to the left, that's equal to ma. So F net, is the sum of all forces. And since we normally define right as positive and left as negative, like, you don't have to always use right as positive or left as negative. I'm just telling you to use that because honestly, it makes it so much easier at the end of the day. So right is positive, left is negative, said equal to ma. And the one last thing I do want to mention, that acceleration is the acceleration specifically in the x direction. It's not the total acceleration, it's just the acceleration in the x direction. And then we have F net y, because of course if we have F net x, we have to have F net y, or else we're not rounding out all the different possible things. You could also have F net z, you could have F net q, but that would assume there's a q axis, which is ludicrous. But we're really only going to be focusing on F net x and F net y for this course because that's really all we're looking at for the most part. We have F up minus F down. So now we're saying up is positive and down is negative, and we set that equal to ma. And just to reiterate, we can do F down minus F up if we want. We can define downward as positive and upward as negative. But the reason we typically don't do that is because when you look up, you don't think, oh, that's negative. You think of elevation as positive as it increases. And so just for the sake of common sense, we're going to be using F up as positive, F down as negative. But just remember, you can change that at any time. Okay, and one last thing. That's equal to the acceleration in the y direction. So the same reason we had acceleration in the x direction, we're going to have acceleration in the y direction. And that's Newton's second law. It just says F net equals ma. And it's up to you to remember that if we have some vector at an angle, we need to split it up into its x and y components. That's something that's never going to be going away, and that's something that I have a feeling students are always going to be messing up here, but, whatever.